Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting into the final four. Happy had a super tough quarterfinal against Spiral. Was threatened like never before, I want to say. A guy who challenged him in a previous Rising Star Grand Final and the W League was HawK, so it's Russia versus Russia. The finest undead that Europe has to offer against the finest human that Europe has to offer. I think with the performances recently, we can definitely say so. HawK, top 4 WCG, top 8 WGL, top 2 W League Europe. If there's a human who can beat them, it's either him or Thorzane. Thorzane was eliminated before. And we get a little regame because something is wrong with the ping, apparently.
All right. Who could we host on where it would be better, though?
Maybe it was just the server.
All right, they're gonna figure it out.
Yeah, we're gonna figure it out. Our beautiful admins, Xander, Matt is Matt, New Hero, doing a great job once again.
All right, we're gonna get this regame started in a moment.
Yeah. So, of course, Happy is the big favorite. 4 Rising Star Cups, 4 Happy wins. But does it feel like, especially the first game against Spiral showed that he's not unbeatable today.
Yep. Can absolutely be close. It's but still, with it still being close, it's starting to feel a little bit like Jera Cup days again. I was trying to remember, I couldn't exactly. What was Happy's record for Jera Cups and Cup of wins in a row?
12?
I think it was like 12 or 13. Which is pretty crazy. Which could happen again. And, you know, it would be nice if we had some more deviation in the top 1 placement. But it's also quite the testament to how strong he is. Like, it's not only that he's, you know, winning them all, but also how one-sided it is sometimes. Like, how good do you have to be to win 4 in a row, to win 5 in a row, to win 6 in a row?
Especially since, like, in the Jera Cup times, it took 66 cups for an undead to win. And then came Happy and changed it all. Like the landscape of professional Warcraft, pretty much as 120 did in China. And now Happy is doing in, like, the world, I guess. When was the last time an undead was the most successful player in a year? I'm not too sure if that has ever happened.
Wow.
As I said, like, it took 16 years for a Western player to be the most successful one, 2003 to 2016. Happy defies all the odds. And now the ping seems to be good. And we start with map number 1. Happy in the blue, bottom left, Last Refuge. This is where Happy was defeated by Spiral in map number 1. HawK in the upper right is not playing a pally rifle play that was so successful in Thorzane's hands. Also, HawK started to play it a little. Seems to be moving away from it again.
Interesting. So feels probably that Happy is too adept at it, or is perhaps waiting for the proper map for it. When HawK won the map, it was Echo Isles, I think, right? I believe. Where you can safely creep up, where you can reliably get the levels. Happy oftentimes likes to be hyper-aggressive, where that is not so easy to do. Could be an MK first as well. No, never mind. AM instead against obviously the DK. We shouldn't be looking towards Happy to show us the most surprising builds. That is not what he tends to do. He tends to win with standard. At least as far as the opening is concerned. That's something that Happy, I feel like, has been getting better at over the years, is adapting in the late game. Sometimes we see Frenzy Ghoul transitions. Sometimes we see a surprise Dark Ranger second, or a Crypt Lord third, maybe, you know, some deviation. But Happy has one opening, and that one he pretty much plays always.
Okay, before we go into more detail, thank you Serbian Jarks for the 17-month resub. Big ups for staying on Warcraft 3 all these years. You are the reason it is still alive. Happy 2020, boys. Wolf von Versweber for the 4-month resub. And Isma Time, thank you for your Prime sub. So, DK out.
You know what was the last time when I remember seeing Happy playing an off-meta opening? It was against Side in the W League.
Oh yeah, in the mirror.
On
match.
Equiles, he played Lich first
Yes.
because he was expecting Dreadlord.
Yes.
Oh, you remember that early game, dude?
Oh!
Oh boy, that was painful. HawK did his homework. He knows about Happy's opening, knows that he likes to creep at the High Priest first, and so HawK very smartly doesn't move on to the next green for the level 2, but rather disrupts Happy. Gets the Acolyte kill here as well, doesn't put too much damage on the DK, but this is already really good. Happy decided to go for creeping first and is left with 0 experience. And the early game is all about experience, all about getting levels. And this is not a good feeling here to start with for Happy. By the way, HawK is going the 1-base tech route, the inner fire rifles. So no early expansion.
It always feels like HawK has the right idea. He's doing his homework because he knows that if he wants to be successful in Europe, at one point he has to be able to beat Happy. And
player's forces are under attack.
we had this also in W League, where especially the openings were really, really, really good. But he can't really have a 100% perfect game, and all Happy needs is one small mistake, and then things spiral out of control. But so far, good pressure on the DK, no progress on the DK. Yes, he sacrifices his own level 2 for it as well, but I feel it's fine.
But if HawK doesn't get level 2 with this one Water Elemental, that hurts. Because then the second one is really far away. Fiend and Snare, a little bit scary, but Ensnare doesn't last long enough to look for a surround there. With only 3 footies, that is not too easy anyways. Nice play by Happy, wakes up the creeps to trigger more inner fire. He knows if this Water Elemental expires and HawK isn't level 2, that's awkward. How do you creep then at the next camp?
He's already low on mana now. That's the last Water Elemental and it's about to expire. Tier 2 approaching rapidly, but yeah, also creeping the second hero isn't too easy.
I think HawK, after he dragged Happy at the green, maybe he should have fallen back to the green Murlocs and crept those for a safe level 2. But I mean, it's both not creeping, so it's not like it's a disaster for the AM.
And with Militia, you can always catch up, especially with the lab.
Forces are under
For the Undead, it's a little harder until you have the Orb of Corruption.
That's what makes this map especially good for this rifle style. You have 3 medium camps outside the main, which are really good to take with Militia, and also very beneficial for the MK. And perhaps for the Pally if you keep him around until the very late game, but that's not too likely.
I wonder if HawK at some point will switch to the Romantic build, because Romantic defeated Happy quite some time now,
A player's
including
forces are
this
under
crazy
attack.
game at the Gold League Finals with 20 tanks. It's...
Seriously, 20 tanks?
Yo, oh yeah, you weren't there. I think it was 20 tanks at the same time. Like it
Hitting
felt,
the main at the same time, 20 tanks?
yeah, pretty much. Maybe 15. I think it
that's
was
so nasty,
15 tanks and like heroes and stuff. That was overwhelming.
That's so dirty.
Dirtiest player in the game, that's what I call him.
The Crab King. Hey, yeah, but you know what? If you're playing professionally, whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes, indeed.
Or how the hood boys say, don't hate the player, hate the game. MK coming out now with the Stormbolt available.
Player's forces
Aggressive potential exponentially increases. Happy still has 0 experience, by the way. That's a pretty rough early game.
Yep. Level 2.
Normally Happy's always able to steal something to kill something. This shows you how well HawK has been playing this early game.
He... if the ultimate gets the last hit, and he does, whoa,
Yep.
that's a big XP swing again. And now the Mountain King is out. Of course we have Nova
gets
to kill
the
a couple
Fiend.
of footmen, but this is only a level 1 coil. He can't out-heal it, but he can't deny it.
Happy didn't even try to save it with the coil. He was like, yep,
Yeah, it
level
doesn't
1
work.
coil isn't gonna be enough anyways. And also, I feel like this is the first time I'm ever seeing this. Happy is not using coils for creeping.
Oh yeah. We mentioned this a lot in the past 2 weeks. Blasting through
does
his
this-
mana.
Yeah. Especially the case when he's creeping with skeletons only in the DK. But normally also in the later stages. And, you know, we always like to say, well, you want to make use of the mana regen? Maybe he forgot? I don't know. Surprising. Dude, this is a great early game for HawK. This is, like, amazing.
Yeah.
Player's forces are
He is on the way to tier 3. He's almost done with the tier 3. Same for Happy. But levels look quite good. And I feel level 3 Archmage is not that important anymore on this map. Or maybe never was. Level 4 is big, so maybe you should go level 2 Aura and prioritize the Mountain King. Happy getting the Mana Stone, by the way. But this is the safe camps gone for him.
Is HawK gonna be so ballsy as to steal the Mercamp? This would be a true sign of confidence.
That got punished so hard by TH against Focus yesterday. I would not recommend this. But okay,
HawK is
if Happy starts
battling
it,
for it.
then creep jacking it is a nice alternative.
But there's an orb now for Happy. There's no level 3 MK. I think this might be a mistake by HawK. Trying to be combative before level 3 MK. But hey, he's feeling himself right now. So let's see how this goes.
I mean, he's still delaying level 3 DK. And at one point, nice call. At one point, the Paladin will be there. If HawK's getting the last hit, Stormbolt, he got it. The big one. And the Sobi Mask.
Wow.
HawK,
players.
maybe you should rename to Magpie.
That was really nicely done. That was really well done. And HawK knows exactly how far to push this strategy.
And another
I'm
steal.
always amazed how much 3 rifles and 3 priests can do.
HawK's last hits are amazing. And also the disable was great. Now the Nova hits the back line and HawK has to kite. Happy is switching it up a little, using his coils aggressively, but you get punished for this pretty much immediately with the Stormbolt.
But HawK lost 1 rifle for stealing the Mercamp and the natural away. That's totally fine.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's a good trade.
He's not going in a fire yet. And Happy has some time to creep. Destroyer scouts the movement, also fine. Paladin brings the staff and the orb. Dark Ranger out as well.
Finally a pair of claws for the Lich. Has been waiting for that for a long time. Lich level 3 before DK. That's a rare sight.
Player's forces are under attack.
But that's a big level up.
He really wants these fiends. Orb helps, coil arrives. Still, that was a big Nova. Is HawK overcommitting now? Silence hits well. Archmage is a little bit in trouble. And that's level 3 for the decay. He kills, I think, a little bit too much, and HawK now realizes it taps out. Holy Light is not enough.
What I feared earlier in the bottom left came true here. Fighting before level 3 MK. Getting punished pretty hard. Also, MK was silenced, right? And we saw no dispel. So priest usage there perhaps a little tiny bit lackluster. Of course, that's easy to criticize. MK is far in front. You want to have the priests way in the back, because if they're not, Happy's gonna Nova them and snipe them out 1 by 1 instantly.
But HawK can creep a lot now. Mountain King 3, big level here. What's the item? Belt of Giant Strength, okay. Where
don't
can
mind that at
Happy
all.
go? He can be aggressive, but that's it.
Happy knows he forced the TP though, so a run by right now could very well be the plan.
The Destroyer
Destroyer
Scout.
scouts the position.
Sweet.
A player's forces
Steals the lab. When do you ever see this? Lab being stolen by the human
Yes.
in a 1-base play.
We're only now getting the master training. And Happy has the XP lead all of a sudden.
Pally solo creeping is very nice though. Gets level 2 here. If HawK gets level 3 Pally before the next big fight, that's not too bad.
But HawK has no TP.
How smart by Happy, by the way, to delay this run by until HawK is further away.
Yeah. Now he can do
it's
damage to
gonna
the
be-
Echo. Nice right clicks. Destroyer is having a field trip without a tower in the base. Same for the Lich and the Dark Ranger. Army of Skeletons raised. HawK is moving back. Did not go for the rat spot.
Player's forces are under
Shop is gone, but he has the big items already. Wand of the Wind, there's no Holy Light. HawK did not anticipate that. Stormbolt on the DK trying to threaten the TP. Staff used DK, more right clicks on him. But the silence hits so nicely. One dispel now.
The two priests were forgotten, unfortunately, in the back. HawK for once making a mistake there. And now the Wand of the Wind coming in once again. Dispels it himself on accident with the Destroyer. Fiend still dies even without a Stormbolt. The level 2 Stormbolt here is absolutely powerful.
Player's forces are under attack.
HawK's chasing, but the MK no boots. Not that fast on this one base tight economy. Boots are not so easy to afford.
How about the items in general? Big Invo Potion still there. Archmage is so exposed. Has to rely on the Holy Light of the Paladin. I don't know if that's the right choice. Lich, so much damage with the 23. Death Knight still holding on to the Mana Stone. Dark Ranger naked.
This Destroyer scouting above the trees, by the way.
Yeah.
So well done by Happy.
Yeah.
His favorite unit, utilizing it very well once again. As always, I guess.
Temple of the
Player's
Damned. We
forces are
see a
under
Banshee
attack.
transition by Happy.
Yeah. That's normally in the super late game what Happy tends to go towards for Curse and, more importantly, anti-magic.
Thank you, Jaceway, for the Prime sub and Korak for the 27-month resub.
Happy looking for the run by. Once again, this is how Happy is trying to buy time and trying to get ahead economically. Giving up lots of the creep camps on the map with this, but looking to force HawK back once again. And with the aura, maybe he's even fast enough to just run away without having to TP. Not even losing a Fiend. HawK had to decide, is he gonna go bottom or left to get away? And Happy once again forces the TP. Forcing more gold.
350. Gone. Happy's still having an XP lead. Getting a little bigger even.
Oh, and now in the retreat, he finds the way to get to the red camp.
Yep.
The little Destroyer in the main was enough distraction for HawK to stay back there for a little while. And what is the item? Hood of Cunning.
It's all about
Alright.
XP.
Yeah.
Especially taking this away from the Paladin.
Level 4 Lich already.
And close to level 433. 443.
I guess that's the benefit when you don't creep with DK for such a long time. There's so many camps left for the Lich as well. HawK now coming up onto the high ground. There's a lot of missed chance, but Happy still TP's out. Not willing to fight. Still waiting for his Banshee transition. Did he die in the base? No. Rifle survives.
Sweet staff. That was like 0.5 HP. We get...
HawK manually cast Inner Fire on him so he tanks a little bit more.
Could be possible on this. Sick.
Cool.
We, by the way, have 3-0 Riflemen and we have 3-0 Fiends. It's not every day that you see this.
Yeah. But Happy has 70 supply with Banshees now as well.
Yes.
Armor upgrade coming in as well. Master training for the Banshees.
Wow, that's
There's not
a lot
really
of mana.
that great targets for them to steal.
It's mana.
Maybe just for the stats, yeah.
So, HawK, what to do now? Happy has no TP anymore. HawK is constantly nuking the DK or trying to nuke the DK. Crystal Ball, okay. But it feels like that doesn't work. Nobody has a TP, by the way. Paladin level 3.
Yeah. Hero levels almost equal. The Lich level 4 versus the MK level 3. That is the advantage for Happy. That's a narrow choke to fight into HawK. That is scary. At the same time, if Happy tries to funnel through, could be dangerous for him. We could have a bit of a Mexican standoff over here.
Anti-magic versus Inner Fire. Using the Divine Shield again. What to nuke now? It's really hard to make the Mountain King useful now. He's sniping the priest so well. Holy Light on a priest, but these skeletons, man, they're such a force. Has to use 2 dispels on it.
I remember how earlier we saw HawK playing against Undead without anti-magic. Anti-magic's making all the difference here. Militia coming in from the main, but not really too effective. So much of HawK's army already died. Even the Inner Fire couldn't save him. Destroyers somehow are still alive. Happy is barely losing anything.
So sick. Reveal kills the Fiend now, but the Paladin is exposed, has to go for Divine Shield again. That means only 2 Holy Lights. 1 is necessary on this Mountain King. Okay, there is an Invo Potion, so maybe not really. Destroyer is still alive. They're even super healthy. Mountain King forced to drink that potion. Dark Ranger exposed, but the coil flies immediately. And that's an exposed Paladin. Excuse me. Oh, a staffed out Paladin. But what now? How to heal the rest?
Yeah, AM also without a TP, he could be in trouble next, but Happy still looking for the units. Finding more and more rifles to take out, especially the priests have been getting slaughtered here. Level 4 on the Dark Ranger. Flitch and DK also close to level ups, and now HawK doesn't have the numbers anymore. 36 supply, even if he kills a hero or 2. I don't think it's enough anymore. It's not. GG. And 1-0 for Happy.
Absolutely sick. Like, this early game was one of the best you can have in the matchup, and especially against Happy, preventing his level 2 for so long. And then you do one mistake, you overcommit once, and all of a sudden Happy has the lead and just takes you home.
Such a tough tightrope walk, right? Like, stealing the Merc camp was so good. It looked dangerous to my eye, but it really wasn't. He did that kind of easily. Then he falls back, probably is feeling good with himself. But then he's running into destroyers, plus Dark Ranger, Coil Nova, right clicks, everything dies. Not everything, but a lot of stuff dies. And once you lose momentum with that strategy, that's a big problem. Banshees, man, looking so good.
Yeah, that was the nail in the coffin, having everything under anti-magic. We have the next donation, by the way. Thank you, Shadowhunter, for the €3. Want to see something scary? Sure, man. Why not?
Did we already say that Terra's in the semis, by the way?
I don't know, but now we did. Defeating Knopf with 2 and 1 means 2 undeads in the semifinal. 1 human, 1 night elf. Happy HawK. Afterwards, we get the semifinal of Foggy versus Terra, and then the grand final. Happy with match points. He could reach his 5th Rising Star grand final. This is HawK's map now. This is Concealed Hill. Happy with the lead. HawK has to win.
Human picking Concealed. That sounds weird on paper, but that's because mostly we're considering the NetEase meta, and that is for the most part fast expansion, which is really hard to do here. But HawK, normally not that kind of player. And I think with this map pick, it's already very predictable what he's going to do, right? It has to be the one-base tier 3 rifle style. But that's most likely what he's doing anyways. And something that Happy has played against before. Won't require that much adjustment.
Yeah,
and
I
one
agree.
thing I guess that we didn't see HawK accomplish in the first game. I mean, he kept the DK from creeping really, really well, but the AM level 3 wasn't that fast because of typical last refuge issues. Level 3 creep route here is actually really good. Take the first camp with Militia, you move to the south, you creep the green camps there, you side creep with Militia only the other green camp next to your main. And with that, you can really nicely move from one camp to the next. And as we know, early level 3 AM makes everything else much simpler.
Isn't this a little too exposed already, though? I'm pretty sure Happy will be ready to harass
so
the
too.
bottom right, especially.
I would totally agree with that. But with proper footman numbers and footman control and AM pew harass, maybe he can keep the DK away from stealing too much.
He did that super well on map number 1. So he should have faith in his skills in the early game, especially.
Leaving an entrance to the main as well, just to be safe,
Player's
I guess.
forces are under attack.
Remo, in chat, there's a little bit of a confusion about the anti-magic shell, if it's dispellable or not. Can you educate our viewers a little?
It is not dispellable. It is not like the Night Elf anti-magic potion. That one you can dispel, Anti-magic shell you cannot dispel. You can also not do damage to the shield. You can do nothing with dispel against that thing. You can only break it with putting magic damage on it.
So
Or spell damage. Magic and spell damage.
case
So,
closed.
so like Destroyer right clicks and Griffin right clicks work, and Stormbolts and such. To break through the barrier. And just a little side note, it's a 300 shield that is not affected by armor. So it's the pure damage, the full damage is always going through.
Good. Close of attack on both sides. Archmage. Oh! Super early! That was so close! Oh my. But
Big
he
last hit. Big last hit.
not getting it. Can't deny level 2. And that was the reason he went all across the map.
And now it's again only level 1. But the good thing about this map is you can get level 2 only with the militia. But you want level 3.
Well, HawK has always been a player who prioritized low enemy hero levels over his own progress.
A player's forces are under attack.
And as we mentioned earlier, militia are now moving out. That's an easy creep. Easy level 2. Claws on the AM are very nice. Same for the DK. Well, not nice for the DK, but nice for the Lich later on. HawK trying to steal this one. What's the likelihood of the Happy not stealing this? Isn't that, like, tiny?
I don't know, man. That's the first one.
But he's out of mana. HawK could actually commit to the giant sea turtle.
Maybe he knows that Happy is investing so much mana early on for creeping, and that's his way to punish it.
The nice thing here also is when your footies get bruised and you send them back, there's always fountains to send them to. And sure, same goes for the DK, but when the DK is at the fountain, he can't do anything else. Whereas the AM, with the rest of the footies plus Watch Elemental, can still get stuff done. So actually, early game heavy trading, on paper at least, should be pretty good for the human.
There's a coil ready now, by the way. Happy feels confident enough to go for the giant sea turtle and gets that cap. Progress towards level 3. Thank you, Matt Frog, by the way, for the host, and I hope you enjoy the LAN in... What was the name of the town again? I forgot. At Scoot's place.
Is he gonna coil the level 1 guy? I always feel that's kind of a waste.
I think
But
so.
the Watch Elemental is not a waste. That's good experience.
2.6. How different these early games are. First rifle comes in, more range damage, but the blocks with the skeleton, keeping the Archmage away from the DK to prevent some more damage. So well done.
And now it's always this weird dance around the fountain. When your opponent wants to heal up, you send your units in, waking them up, and when you want to heal them up, your opponent sends the units in. Because of course the creeps are easily woken up, and they are big scary creeps.
Yeah.
You can't really diddle-daddle there
You
too
have
long.
nightmares about these creeps sometimes?
Well, I'm not the one who loses heroes to creep camps.
I don't know what are you talking about. Fuck. Oh, did he actually get... HawK did get it, right?
I think Happy got it. He's so close to level 3 now. Oh man, you hook, line, and sinkered that one. My goodness.
You know, entertainment for the audience.
MK comes out now second. Dude, HawK is positioning himself hyper aggressive again.
Yeah, no...
That should be coming out soon as well. He will.
There's no plans for an expansion. It's again the tech, but... Wait, isn't this tech, like, super late this time?
Fairly late.
Compared to last game? Or is Happy just fast?
Yeah, I think, yeah, Happy went for tech before Lich, before Slaughterhouse, before everything else. Sneaky creep here by HawK, by the way. This is not something you expect. The natural being taken away. That's pretty cool. That's decent experience for the MK, and also tons of XP still left on HawK's side of the map. Kind of lucky, honestly. Like, if Happy had decided to go creep his natural instead of the lab. And look at HawK! He's like, nope, no more creeping for me. Level 1 MK, that's all I need. And he's looking for some economy damage, but the tier 3 is already finished, so honestly, this doesn't really do that
He
much.
expected a late attack, just like us. And I wants to go for some Acolyte with the additional Archmage damage, which would be okay, I guess. Coil Nova gets one Acolyte, okay, but loses the TP. Oh, 2 Acolytes, that's 150. And the Ziggurat as well. Keeps Happy stuck at 32. It's one more unit and a hero, but I don't think it's that bad as you need the tech anyway. It's a
also
little
a lot
bit
of
money.
time.
Forces are under attack.
It was a lot of time where the MK wasn't creeping though. He's still only level 1. It's the TP gone, which is always dangerous. I don't like that play very much, to be honest. But we'll see. There's still plenty of creeps to go around.
I feel like you said this a lot today.
Okay, I'm gonna try to curb my criticism. HawK has certainly been doing plenty of things right. The painful thing is, though, you have to do almost everything right to beat Happy.
Yeah. So, Happy is getting revenge for the bottom right. Creep Steal pretty much does the same, but that gives HawK Overlord. And last time we saw a huge item for Happy when he grabbed this. I think it's a Hood of Cunning now.
Cloak.
Help. Okay. Equally bad. Paladin almost like has started. Adept upgrade for the priest maybe a little late. 50 supply. And HawK now. Sees Happy is coming. We have no third hero. Only 3 fiends. And 2 statues.
Happy wanted to go for the run by there again. Same thought process as map 1. Your TP is gone. I can do big damage to you in the main. And I always have the TP if I need it. But HawK had either the foresight or the lucky coincidence to be in the right spot. And now is level 3 MK. Kind of impressive how he was so slow to start things off in the mid game and now still gets the level 3. And is not buying an invul from the shop, which shows you how many cojones he had. Well, he has the same amount as us, but bigger ones perhaps.
We have no invul potion, no heal potion, no TP on HawK's side. Yes, of course, the Paladin is kind of ready. Wait, he's not going for a staff. He doesn't have the resources for it. That is a very, very risky play.
Here we go once again, run by into the main, 2 peasants taken out right away. What this also does, by the way, limit the number of peasants, means low lumber, especially later on. And in the late game, you don't want to remake peasants, so counter-expanding is going to be, or expanding, I mean, in the first place, it's going to be really tough to do.
Dude, mass murder on these peasants. Holy Light right click, okay, gets this one. Wand of Mana Stealing being used, but doesn't do too much. He's trying to force a TP, and that seems to go well, but man, losses on HawK's side. Holy Light!
That was close.
Yep. Scans for borrowed fiends, doesn't see them, because there are none.
Happy this time with a much earlier Banshee tech transition coming in. Temple already finished, depth training coming in. Was waiting quite a while here to go for the 3rd hero. Dark Ranger.
That's a lot of experience on HawK though. Like, Dark Ranger only now.
Yeah.
No
and
level
the AM's
3
gonna get
lich.
level 4 here from the Fountain Camp. That's very nice. I would actually like to see the MK staying away from this camp. His level 4 doesn't really do that much, as he doesn't have clap.
I mean, level 5 could be a game changer, but level 3 Paladin is just so important.
Yeah, already level 2 is really big for the Pally. I'm not sure if he gets it with all the heroes sticking around.
Oh, Happy is faster, I guess, with the creeps. Let's focus on him first. Ruined Bracers, that's a gift. And Sobi Mask on the other side, which is nice as well. But you were right. It's... oh, is it? No, it's not, right? 2 XP missing. If only you'd sent the monk in a way.
But he's gonna get level 2 here now at the next camp. AM is level 4. And now he's sending the MK away. Oh, he's still in range. I think that's quite intentional.
Dude, is this Groundhog Day? I feel like exactly this happened on last refuge as well. With the 2 drive-bys, forcing the 350 gold for the TP. Happy is getting exactly what he wants to get.
Yeah. And once more, he's fast. He's just running away. HawK has to TP back there, otherwise all his peasants will die. And that's the advantage of the undead base compared to the human base. If you run into an undead base, you're gonna get slowed everywhere, and you can't just run away like that. Smart play by Happy.
Yes.
Once again, Destroyer scouting over the trees, checking out where HawK's going.
Banshee.
And I imagine upgrades are starting to kick in. Second attack upgrade for the Fiends. Soon to be finished for the rifles. 2-0 as well. We do have master training for the priests. So at least lumber economy wasn't gutted so hard that HawK can't go for the upgrades.
Happy is preparing another push. He wants this. First armor upgrade is coming. And again, Nova, coil, right clicks, level 4. And this forces HawK back. He's not willing to use a TP, which he doesn't even have. So again, has to
I'm surprised Happy didn't commit into the back, willing to use the TP.
Again, we have to mention how good this Destroyer movement is throughout the entire series.
It's just like a bit of a magnet, like, look at me, I'm over here. And HawK is falling for just for a couple of seconds, then he realizes, wait, this is just a bait. Let's go out of the map again.
This is 600 gold already that Happy is ahead, despite this little push and the kill of 2 acolytes earlier. And the TPs that Happy forced, so Happy's army should already be a little bit better. 3-0 coming.
I'm feeling kind of bad for HawK. Like, just tactically, I wonder, like, what is he supposed to do? Like, we need TH in the triple cast right now. He would have an idea of what to do. I don't, though. I don't know what you're supposed to do against this.
Yeah, when there's not enough levels.
And the Destroyer, so good. Destroyer in the main. And once HawK moves out, Happy goes right back in again.
He's playing the Destroyer like a Shade.
Shade who can dispel. Yeah.
There's also a skeleton here, so he knows there's no sneaky expansion. 1,000 gold on Happy. He sees no need to build a bigger army.
And maybe there's a reason, maybe this is one of the reasons, rather, why on NetEase nobody else outside of HawK's playing this style anymore. Especially to the run buys. This is like super susceptible.
Wouldn't one workshop for like 1 gyro to defend this or to threaten? There's the workshop. HawK can read my mind, and maybe even a tank or 2, just to force Happy back for once.
But a 1 tank is not enough. That just the ghouls deal with that. And 2 tanks is pretty expensive. That puts you into upkeep instantly.
But I feel like the only thing that can beat Happy is tanks. How did HawK beat him at WGL again in the group stage?
Knight's Gyros.
Okay, that doesn't fit my argument, Remo. Can you?
TH, I think, also beat him with Knight's Gyros.
But there were tanks involved with TH.
Yeah, I mean, like 1 or 2 tanks. That is a sign of good taste nowadays, right?
Good taste, huh?
Among the humans, apparently. But yeah, romantic. 15 tanks, man. I wonder what that looked like.
He built nothing else but footmen and tanks in that game. Like, not a single different unit.
That was also the first map that TH won at WGL against him, right, on Twisted Meadows. Anyways, here we have the drop again. And that's a lot of peasants dying. Zeppelin is ready. HawK is not in position. HawK gets into position, and Happy says, "See you later." Even picks up the skeleton. He thinks of all of his residents.
Thank you, Witch Doctor 12345 for the 813 sub. 8 amazing month of entertainment. Keep it up, you two. Thank you. Happy keeps it up as well by murdering the proletarians.
And Happy, in the meantime, he's pumping up so hard in Econ. How does he have still so much lumber, by the way? He's getting master training. The 3-2 upgrade.
Oh, forcing a TP
this time,
now.
oh, the Zeppelin, if it's killed, it's only dizzy, actually, so it's not. If it dies above water, that would have been funny.
But yeah, everything is slowed now. You can see it here, dizziness.
Oh, chat. Does anybody know how long does dizziness last?
Oh, it feels like forever.
Because I don't know. I'm not trying to show off or anything. I don't know.
For once.
I know it's longer on units than on heroes.
Yeah, for heroes it's almost over. Thank you, Knopf, for the host. Greetings to you, Swedes. Happy broke upkeep super duper late. So that's why he's that rich.
Oh, he's gonna have so much supply. He's gonna have so much more supply. Dude, isn't this little breaker cute? I'm the one breaker to counter the 6 banshees. Hell yeah!
And the mortar team is, I guess,
Oh,
stuck.
it's stuck.
Players' forces are under attack.
At least we have a little bit of deviation, and yeah, I feel this mortar team is supposed to counter the fiends as well with the frag shards, and of course the banshees. But is this already too late? I'm not too sure.
Is Happy expanding? I feel like this would be the perfect time to expand.
Yep.
He's got the big ass army now to protect an expansion. And he knows his army is much bigger. He should know. How does he have so much lumber? Like, seriously?
Did he ever use the ghouls for anything?
No. But it's still only 3.
Oh, and it's 3-2. I thought it's 3-0, but 2 armor upgrades.
Yeah. And the Expo, that's another 200 lumber.
And the Master
Every
Trainer.
Fiend, 40 lumber. Every Banshee, 30, I think. I'm not sure. 35. Web upgrade as well. Infinite lumber.
Players' forces
So-
are under attack.
At this point, is Bash still doing anything? Can you afford Tomb of Retraining against the anti-magic shield?
I don't think Clap does anything. Like, what's Clap? You need
A lot of
4
clap.
claps to go through anti-magic.
Oh yeah, and then there's no damage anyway. Oh, no.
You have a bit of slow.
With frag shards, you have double AoE, maybe Blizzard. Like full AoE, does it break anti-magic then?
Depends on the Banshee mana,
Players' forces are under attack.
which is full to the brim right now on Master.
Flying Machine killed, by the way. It was nighttime, so I guess he didn't see the expansion, but he must think about it. Like, Happy is not aggressive at all anymore. He positions himself here. HawK knows, but Happy is maxed out.
Exactly. This is the perfect undead army. This is it. Alright, HawK is gonna try to see what he can do here. We have curses being returned from the breakers. That's kind of nice. More teams trying to take out the Banshees. However, they are way in the back. Nova hits big in the priest, and Happy once again aiming for the casters. When you have anti-magic everywhere, that's what you can do. You can just run through the front line, if you want to call it that, and go for the casters. And guess what? Suddenly it's only 1 priest left. Everything else died. GG. HawK got dismantled in that game. That was...
Absolute destruction. Like, how fast Happy kills stuff everywhere. The Nova is perfect. The priests suffocating. This one breaker that was supposed to throw the curses back. Did you see like how fast it died? He wasn't even in the fight. He threw his stick like twice or something.
It was 80 supply fiends with 3 attack upgrades.
Yeah, they're very good at that stage. If they, and the frag shards, they were good against a couple of banshees, but the anti-magic was already done, and then the curse doesn't do too much anymore.
I think here, I've never realized this so much before. I've seen examples of it before, but this strat has a serious problem against run-bys. Could you just try to wall off your base? Is the solution so simple?
I think you have
Probably
to go
not.
mech at one point. There's no other way.
You have to go what?
Mech.
Mech? Is this a StarCraft cast now?
This is gyrocopters and tanks are mech.
Yeah, Happy just completely aware of how to abuse game 2. That wasn't super flashy, but it was once again very well done. And with that, Happy again in the grand final, waiting for his opponent.
5th time grand final. Could be a rematch against Foggy, who was there before, or the 5th finalist, except Happy, in Terra. Could be the crowning of Terra's rise in the scene. But that's our next semi-final, number 2. Who's gonna challenge Happy in the best of 5 grand final for $100? Either Foggy from the Ukraine or Terra from Poland. This cup and the finals at the end of March are sponsored by AMD, so we will update you a little bit about their products before we go into the next best of 3. Stay tuned.